All right, kids, we're going to put technology to the test right now, and we're going to see if my main man, Gary Forney, is on the telephone line. Gary, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. I love it when technology works. This is so cool, man.
So do I.
Gary, first of all, I'd like to thank you for calling us all the way from Iowa. It's a real pleasure to have you on.
Oh, sure.
So let's talk about this movie you got coming out. This is pretty exciting. Or actually, you know what, let's give a little bit of background first. You know, I've played a lot of your music here on Mr. Ten's Wild Ride. I've played a lot of stuff by your band Pumpkin. I've played your solo stuff. I've played the things that have been recorded that you wrote, that other people performed, but maybe not everybody knows who Gary Forney is or what you're all about. Maybe you would care to tell us about it.
Well, I've been a musician ever since high school or before. Just basically all my life. My newest band is Pumpkin. You may have heard of the Iowa Mountain Tour, but the new band is Pumpkin, which includes my son Joshua and my wife Bonnie now, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You might hear air raid siren.
Oh, man.
I'm outside. I'm outside.
Pumpkin is totally hot today.
I'm enjoying the outside weather today. The new movie, you can get to meet a lot of us. A lot of people don't know a lot about Josh, who's a fantastic guitar player. There's an interview with him in the movie. He actually talks.
No way.
I know Josh hasn't gotten near the recognition or credit he deserves, and so in the new movie you'll see him. You'll actually get to know Bonnie a little bit.
Nice.
Well, my older sister's even in the movie. She talks a little bit about me, and I love her quote. You know, the rest of the family may not understand or even like it, but they got to admit Gary is famous.
Yeah, there you go, and that goes a long way in today's society.
Yeah.
Well, I first heard of you. There was a movie before this, which was
kind of a mockumentary. I don't really care for that film.
Yeah, I don't know. It made a fan out of me. You know, it served at least one purpose. Well, you know,
I got a lot of fans out of that movie, but it wasn't really saying the real me. Hopefully, people will get to see the real me in the new movie.
Yeah, well, hopefully, and this is where I get a little bit self-serving, I must admit. Some of my listeners may or may not know, but I actually had the chance to play a show with Pumpkin in Lake Villa, Illinois last summer, and it was a blast.
Yeah, indeed. Malcolm 10 is in the new movie.
Woo! That's what I wanted to hear.
you got to see it, if nothing else, to see Malcolm 10 in the new movie. Malcolm had the courtesy. I'm eternally grateful. He drove all the way from Connecticut into northern Chicago to play a gig with Pumpkin, and he was our drummer without a drum set, by the way.
Yeah. Which
we made shift. Pure rockabilly.
Yeah, I thought it came out great, and what made it especially fun and interesting was the fact that we had never really met in person before, let alone actually played music together, and it totally worked. It had that spontaneity and that sort of like devil-may-care attitude towards it.
And no rehearsals.
Nope.
No rehearsals.
Nope.
Just get right up there and do it.
Yep, totally. And I believe there are some clips on YouTube, which leads to the next question. How do people find Gary Forney online?
Well, I have a new I have to have new websites all the time because I get stalkers and a few things.
Oh.
Yeah, well, that's partial post for being an outside musician.
Right.
The new ones at www.pumpkin, .jimdo, JIMDO.com.
Okay.
And find me there. Or look on YouTube for Gary Forney or Pumpkin. Either one, you'll find me.
Right on. So now for someone who's never heard your music before, how would you describe it?
I would describe it as a fusion of punk, rock, and blues.
Nice.
Punk, rock, and blues. A little bit of Chicago blues thrown in, but definitely a fusion band.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty apt description. And what about your musical history prior to the formation of Pumpkin and prior to the movie Off the Charts?
Well, in high school, I had a kind of a pre-punk band called the Scream of the Butterfly,
Mm.
and we kind of made it little local. Local big time doesn't count for anything, but that's what. And then it kind of all got buried after high school. You go out and you get, you work real jobs and you get married and a few things, and so it just kind of faded away. And then I brought it back with the song poem thing,
Mm-hmm.
and a Dial Mountain tour, and off the charts that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, I just kind of put it all back together again. I gave a lot of thought, and I created Pumpkin.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm very fond of Pumpkin, by the way, and to me, Pumpkin is a great band, and it's kind of the ultimate of what I wanted to say.
Right.
It's fun. It's fun. Pumpkin is fun. I enjoy being Pumpkin.
No, definitely.
I'm not so sure I was...
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Pumpkin, I love it. Pumpkin is just pure fun, and it's a lot of joy. And we don't rehearse, we don't worry about it, and we just have at it.
Right on. And you mentioned earlier about Josh Forney not getting the recognition he deserves as a guitar player. I was impressed. He was just spieling out leads, seemingly with no effort whatsoever.
Yeah, Josh doesn't say a lot in person, but when he's playing his guitar really just talks. I've described this, you can see lightning flying off his guitar or flame, when he plays.
Definitely. And so as far as the movie goes, when can we expect a release on that?
Apparently, well, it's already been entered in the LA Film Festival and the Chicago Film Festival.
Mm-hmm.
And supposedly we're supposed to have a release date of the 16th of this month.
Nice.
The film is directed by Sandeep Chopra and written by Tony Downs. And I'd like to give a little shout-out here to Aaron Gall, who's in it. A lot of great people in it. You kind of get to know the influence I have on people.
Right.
It's a little bit more, yeah.
No, very cool. Any plans to come east with it?
I love to come east with it. I keep getting interest, Jimmy Kimmel, David Letterman, but I'm not making it anywhere yet. I even got a call from Paramount a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So see, nothing's quite coming through yet,
Right.
So I'm getting that interest, and I love to come east.
Well, we'd love to have you. If there's any way we can make it happen, I think that we definitely should do that. Because,
Well, I'd like to give another little shout-out to Jessica Delfino. Hopefully I can make it east yet.
Yeah, Jessica, she's got her own, I think she has her own venue now. And Jessica's...
the Unicorn.
Yes, the Unicorn. She is a great stand-up comedian and ukulele player and a writer and very talented and lovely person, too. It'd be really awesome if something could happen there.
She has a flame-throwing ukulele now.
Yeah.
That would be interesting to see. No, I'm hopefully the movie will generate enough interest in my career to make it somewhere. I mean, East Coast, West Coast, anywhere.
Right. Because
I really love to have some gigs.
Yeah, I mean, playing live is really what it's all about. And I think truthfully that, the music of Pumpkin is completely unique, and I'm going to play some after we're done talking here on the phone. And, when you find the people who can latch on to it and really dig it, it's just such a great feeling.
Pumpkin is a little different in the studio, a little different live, but I love either one.
Right.
I love to sing in the studio with the cans on, the earphones, and hear myself sound about 10 foot tall. But I also love live, where you get the instant feedback from the audience. And we played a great concert a couple of years ago in Duluth, and I really loved that. And they were really into it. It was a great show.
Yeah, definitely. I think that has since been released on cassette on the fabulous TPOS record label.
Yes, it has.
Just
Indeed.
saying. I think that's on.
Yeah,
I think that's out there if you look hard enough for it.
Yeah, that was a great show, and it was a great release. Yeah.
So who would you say are your main musical influences? You've crafted this unique sound. So where does it come from within you?
Well, the Doors. I admire the Doors for the kind of poetic lyrics and Jim Morrison's voice. Also love Led Zeppelin, even though Led Zeppelin kind of ripped off all the blues artists, and didn't give them credit.
Mm-hmm.
But I love actually a lot of the old acid rock bands. What I'm trying to do is go back to the basic blues like Howlin' Wolf. Earlier you played a track. I wasn't that fond of that track. But I like Howlin' Wolf, the Chicago blues. Only make it a little bit lyrically, maybe a little bit more poetic, and without making it pansy. You know what I mean?
Right.
But keeps that raw music with an additional little punk feel. Punk and the blues aren't that far apart. And but I like all the old acid rock bands, mostly because they fed your mind, they made you think. And actually, punk and that's what it stands for, punk and other influences. I consider Punkin basically a punk band with rock and roll and some other influences, some other bad influences.
Care to name them?
Iggy Pop, Black Sabbath, Black Oak, Arkansas. Yeah.
I don't know. That sounds pretty good to me. To this jaundiced old ear.
Just let it. Basically, kind of a more of the '60s sound.
Right.
And I try to keep it up to date. But basically, Punkin is a fusion of rock, punk, and blues.
Nice. And I think we're going to give people a sample of that. I've got a song here on your album, The Devil Took Me. And it's the title track from that, as you could probably guess. It's called The Devil Took Me. Let's give it a listen.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can play this on the air and keep
It's a
you
great
on
song.
the air. It's a real good song. I love the lyrics. When you talked about lyrics earlier, I actually made a note on my copy of this album that the lyrics for The Devil Took Me were really special on this one. And let's give it a listen and see if you can stay on the line at the same time.
Okay.
Here we go, kids. The Devil Took Me by Punkin on Mr. Tent's Wild Ride.
I used to have a woman, she was lean and low. Used to really rock me, but she don't know more. I've been down the highway far as you can see. Someone took my woman and the devil took me. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. Show me a woman that a man can trust. Blood on the water from sea to sea. My woman took a lover and the devil took me. One is the father, two is the son, three is the devil. Now run, boys, run. Love you. $1 or you can spend a dime. It doesn't really matter, it's a waste of time. I've known $1 go from hand to hand, a low-down woman go from man to man. I can hear the devil knocking at my door. Little girl, how can it be? You took another lover and the devil took me. You can spend $1 or you can spend a dime. It doesn't really matter, it's a waste of time. I've known $1 go from hand to hand, a low-down woman go from man to man. I can hear the devil knocking at my door. Little girl, how can it be? You took another lover and the devil took me.
Yes, The Devil Took Me by Pumpkin. How about that, Gary?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite songs. Mojo Bone, a few of my other songs. An interesting story about The Devil Took Me. When we did it live in Duluth, the drummer threw his back out on it, and Bonnie busted up her tambourine.
Ouch.
She said the tambourine floated to the ground. I said, no, they didn't.
Yeah, I think gravity might have had something to do with it.
Yeah, but that's a really rocking song, and I'm really proud of that one.
No, definitely. I think that illustrates the fusion of what you were talking about, like a sort of a blues thing with a real punk attitude.
Yeah.
And Mojo Bone. Let's talk about Mojo Bone. That's kind of like a signature song for Pumpkin.
Yeah. We open every set with it, and then we kind of close the set unless we get an encore, which we do, luckily.
Mm-hmm.
So, we use Mojo Bone for bookends.
Right.
For our live concerts. It's kind of like, welcome to our world, this is what we sound like, and then when we close our set, we use it again, kind of like, well, a celebration of what we just experienced.
Yeah, definitely. And so where do you get the lyrical inspiration for a song like Mojo Bone?
Well, Mojo Bone kind of comes a lot from Lightning Hopkins' Mojo Hand. Mojo Hand goes, going to Louisiana, going to buy me a Mojo Hand or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then a few other blues songs too. But I'm really into all the old blues artists, and sometimes I'm not as bad as Led Zeppelin. Anyway, yeah, I kind of alter a few lyrics here and there. You can hear a little bit of Lightning Hopkins' influence on Mojo Bone. You can also hear a little bit of Rock Me. God, his name escapes me right now.
Hopefully not
Muddy
David
Waters,
Cassidy. Muddy Waters. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Muddy Waters, yeah.
Cool. Well, why don't we give it a listen now that I've demonstrated that I can do it. I can play the music and not lose you. Let's hear what Mojo Bone sounds like here on Mr. Ten's Wild Ride.
Okay.
Going to Chicago, gonna bury my mojo bone. Going to Chicago, bury my mojo bone. Gonna make Chicago my brand new home. If I feel tomorrow like I feel today, if I feel tomorrow like I feel today, I'm gonna pack my bags and make my getaway, and go away and leave you, not come back at all, and go away and leave you, not come back at all. Chicago's got some women, yeah, 10 foot tall. Chicago, rock me all night long. Women in Chicago, rock you all night long. Yeah. Women that'll rock you, the best ain't got no bone. I could be in Chicago before the sun can rise. I could be in Chicago before the sun can rise. Women in Chicago keep me satisfied. Going to Chicago, gonna bury my mojo bone. Going to Chicago, bury my mojo bone. Gonna make Chicago my brand new home. Going to Chicago, yeah, right. Going to Chicago. Going to Chicago.
Yeah, going to Chicago to bury the Mojo Bone. That was Punkin, the song Mojo Bone, and we have the leader of Punkin on the air right now, Mr. Gary Forney.
Yeah.
Hello.
That other, I gotta talk to him. That other voice you hear on Mojo Bone is actually Joshua.
Oh, you got him to say something.
Josh.
No way.
Yeah, he actually sang on that song. He sang backup vocals. He was kind of scared stiff, and he had to do 2 takes, but he got it, and we gave him the last word, and that's actually Joshua singing.
Right on. It's good to know he can do it. We commend him.
He's multi-talented. We have a song called Down at the Crossroads where Josh plays harmonica.
Oh, yeah.
Harmonica, which is pretty cool.
Nice, nice. So this is a question I ask of a lot of people I have on the air. I'm going to put you on the spot, and I'm going to ask you who your 5 favorite musicians are.
Okay, Jim Morrison, Arthur Brown, Moody Blues, that's 3. Tiny Tim, love Tiny Tim.
Oh, yeah.
Hassel Atkins, that's 5.
Oh, yeah, right on. And actually, that talking about Hassel Atkins reminds me that you had some influence by the legendary Stardust Cowboy as well.
Yeah, I did. I wrote to the Stardust Cowboy in 1988, asked him how he got his career started, and he actually responded, sent me a cassette tape, a autographed photo, and a bunch of stuff. But basically, the Stardust Cowboy told me, just jump out there and do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I recommend that to other people, too. If you're listening and you want to try a career, jump out there and do it. Who knows?
I think you could hardly put it any better, and your career exemplifies that. It's a matter of just getting out there and doing it and watching the waves flow after that.
Yeah.
And on that note, I'm going to have you give people your internet presence and where to find you one more time, and then we're going to play a solo track by Gary Forney, which is another one of your hits, Three-Eyed Boy.
Three-Eyed Boy, that's an interesting tune. That's Josh and I, some older tune.
Mm-hmm.
You can find me on Facebook at Gary Forney. You can find me on the internet at www.punkn.jimdo.com, or you can find me on YouTube by just looking for Punkin, once again PUNK''N, or Gary Forney again.
Right on. And we, of course, have to look out for the movie about you, which I believe is just called Gary, correct?
Yeah, the movie is simply called Gary. I'm up there with Cher and who else? Let me see, Madonna. The movie is simply called Gary, and hopefully we'll have a major release here in about a month or a couple of weeks, and it might be in a film festival. You can't predict yet, but it's been released for the film festival circuit.
Right on, and we hope to see it soon.
Be accepted, but
details. That'll come later.
Yeah.
Well, all right. We want to thank you for calling and for sharing your music with us. We enjoy it very much here on WNHU. And we're going to close out with Three-Eyed Boy by Gary Forney.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thanks for calling, Mang. We'll see you at the next gig.
Yep.
All right. Over and out.
Well, I'm a three-eyed boy just looking for a tattoo girl. I got the three-eyed blues, top of my head to the bottom of my cowboy shoes. Just a three-eyed boy, been looking for a girl like you. Just a three-eyed boy, been looking for a girl to love. She got one blue eye, and the other's green, if you know what I mean. I'm gonna take a ride home, right into my room. She'll be my bride and I'll be her groom, a little turtle girl. She got one blue eye, and the other's green, if you know what I mean. I got the three-eyed blues, from the top of my head to the bottom of my cowboy shoes. Looking for a woman, 12 foot tall, sleep in the kitchen with her feet in the hall. Got my mojo working, but it don't work on her at all. But when I find her, I'm gonna take her right home, right into my room. She'll be my bride and I'll be her groom, my little turtle girl. Got one blue eye, and the other's green, if you know what I mean. I got the three-eyed blues, top of my head, down to the bottom of my cowboy shoes. I'm gonna take a ride home, right into my room. She'll be my bride and I'll be her groom, my little turtle girl. I got the country blues, top of my head to the bottom of my cowboy shoes. I'm gonna take a ride home, right into my room. She'll be my bride and I'll be her groom, a little turtle girl. Yeah, I got the three-eyed blues, top of my head, down to the bottom of my cowboy shoes. Well, I'm a three-eyed boy.
This is WNHU, West Haven, Connecticut's #1 college radio station. Malcolm Tent here, bringing you Mr. Tent's Wild Ride. I want to thank Gary Forney from Punkin and star of the out-to-be-soon documentary entitled Gary for calling in and talking with us. That was a song by Gary Forney entitled Three-Eyed Boy. And, man, what can you say about that except it's a song called Three-Eyed Boy, and you gotta love it.